What's up, everyone? It is Monday, which means it's time for the Troubleshooters, and welcome back from a wonderful weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend. I had a very good weekend. It was quiet. I played some D&D. I made copious amounts of banana pudding over 2 days, so everybody is happy. Like I didn't get the way that I am by eating healthy food. I ate shit like banana pudding. Anyways, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's basically Nilla wafers, vanilla pudding, and bananas all mixed together in a wonderful dish that you serve up to your friends. And my friends enjoyed it. So, and then today I've been cooking up a storm lately. So today I did homemade chicken nuggets, and it was a really good thing. Homemade mashed potatoes, chicken nuggets, and some peas, along with some biscuits. It was like a good Southern dinner. So, um, yeah, there we go. Anyways, let's see. What do we have going on? Well, this not this coming weekend, but the following. So the first weekend in February, that first week, starting on the third, I think, third, fourth, fifth, something like third, fourth, fifth. Winter Fantasy is going online. Normally, I am there in a capacity of being physically at the convention. However, we've taken the whole entire thing online, and I am running games on Thursday night and a couple of them on Saturday. If you follow me on Facebook, you can feel free to look into that and join me. You can purchase tickets for that. Then at the end of this month, nope, at the end of February, I will be running games for the virtual D&D weekend that is going on that weekend. So feel free to sign up for those as well. All of it is Adventure League. I'm running the actual Moonshay Isle content, which was specific content for Baldwin Games. So yeah, we got all that going on. Of course, I'm always for hire if you need to find a DM to run an event, a party for you, both online as well as off. We are happy to help out in any capacity that you might need us. That's really kind of it right now we have going on. It's kind of quiet time. I know in April I have a convention that I'll be at physically here in Huntsville, but for now it's just all the online stuff, and I'll give you more details about the convention in April as that draws closer. Gosh, really, that's our announcements are kind of low. As always, a huge thanks to D&D Beyond for being our sponsor and host and allowing us to use their wonderful tools. Don't forget that coming up March 21st, I'll have to get that date confirmed, but I believe it's either March 16th or March 21st, is the Candlekeep Mysteries. So Candlekeep Mysteries is kind of an anthology, but not really. It's a it's a series of different adventures, and it's like supposed to be one shot or small adventures that are all locked into Candlekeep. You arrive in Candlekeep and find a mysterious book that leads you to a doorway to the adventure. The book itself is the entryway to it. Two very good friends of mine, Tony Brill Winslow and or Tony Winslow Brill, and then Jennifer Kretschmer are both authors for some of the stories within the book. So I'm super excited for them and having that out. And I am working on pinning the new convention adventure, and that means that I'm also pinning the old adventures, so those will be up for sale here pretty soon. I'm also retooling the adventure tomes. That's right, we are still doing adventure tomes. We're doing a re-release of that come April-ish is what we're looking for. But that means we got some feedback from some playtesters, and it looks like what we're going to really do is I'm probably going to revamp a good portion of the adventure to make it more robust and make it a bit bigger. So look forward to that whenever we roll that out. In the meantime, let's recap the troubleshooters. They went into the manor. They found a puzzle that opened the fountain, leading them into this undercroft. In the undercroft, they found a a sleeping area and a staging place and all of this rooms that were there as though someone could live there. Along with that, they found this creature known as the Lost, and it attacked them violently, nearly spearing some of them. Luckily, with the help of Comb, they were able to defeat the creature themselves, only to find a body lying amongst this defunct portal with these paintings around that look like they have ties to the Feywild. Our cleric is prepared to speak with the dead so that they can have a better conversation and try to figure out what went on here. And with all that in mind, let's start the Troubleshooters. All right, welcome back. If you'll notice, we are down one player. Unfortunately, Voodoo cannot be with us. They are out saving lives this evening or responding to those calls that need to be saved. So we hope nothing but a quiet evening for Voodoo while they ride the big, as I love the German word for it, the Krakenwagen. So here's hoping for them to have a wonderful evening. And they are here with us in spirit, if not in person. All right. You've defeated the lost. You now stand there calm, quietly looks at all of you. Any idea what that was?
Liz just shrugs her shoulders. Dead now?
Your guess is as good as ours. Nothing that I've ever seen.
What have we discovered in this place?
Well, so far, there's the weird repeating writing in the room, and that way there's a dead body inside of what looks like a whole bunch of magic circles.
Wow. He goes to look at the weird repeating writing, which we looked at last week because we discovered what it was.
Liss knew what it said because it was in Sylvan.
Yes. And it looked like somebody was like slowly going mad and rewriting words over and over again, like a repeating thing. So where to now, party?
Well, the plan was to talk to the dead, as far as I know.
The dead can
yeah,
dance.
I think that was the plan. So I think Liz probably would have started her 10-minute spell casting for it.
All right, and as the 10 minutes end up, your spell is fulfilled. A wisp of like whitish smoke seems to be drawn in, and the lungs, the chest cavity of the dead man kind of fill for a second, and through the hollow thing where the mouth is, you hear just a slow breathing sound, like an exhalation. Just you have 5 questions.
The first question is, do you know who you are? Or who are you is probably the better question, is who are you?
So you're asking, who are you?
Yes.
He says the name Andreas. It whispers out, Andreas.
That's not the wizard, right?
Peter Diedrich.
Do you know how you got here?
Hang on, I'm thinking about how to answer that best. I walked. What is your quest?
Do you know who did this to you?
Yes.
All right, guys, I've got 2 questions left. I know that we want to know who did this to them, but is there anything else that we want to know for our 5th and final question?
I think they know the room. What's going on here? Was this sacrificial? Is this teleportation? Unless I don't know myself unless you know what most of this is, Asanja. Unless Moon and you have secret knowledge that I'm not aware of.
Magic is not my forte.
He's secretly like a caster this whole entire time. All of the bullets have been just magical spells.
Undercover artificer.
I wouldn't be
She's
surprised.
going to ask who did this to you.
Peter Diedrich.
All right. So our last question has to be somewhat simple because the dead are somewhat simple. So I don't know the best way to phrase this. So if somebody else wants to give it a shot, you are more than welcome to.
What are we trying to phrase?
Why they are here, why Peter did this to them.
Hmm.
I mean, any canned question we'd ask can be easily answered or yes or no. Like if we asked, "Can you tell us why this happened to you?" They could say yes or no, and then it's done with. So that just does not help us. Same thing with will questions.
Or could correct you on grammar. May I?
I've done some petty things, and I would probably do that.
I don't know how finicky the dead are with their questions. This is new to me. This is kind of cool, but like, I have no idea here.
This is also new to me, but I know that they tend to be like genies, and you have to be very specific with what you ask, but they also have to be very simple because they know everything that they know in life, but they're also dead.
Well, usually a very good descriptive question, I guess, would be using why.
Who's writing the essay for this question?
There would be a grade on the test later. The essay makes up 40% of the grade.
Sad, sadly, I am one that only deals death. Very good question I come after.
Something along the lines of what were they trying to gain?
What was Andrews trying to gain, or what was Peter trying to gain?
What whoever did this to them, Peter, was trying to gain.
So are we gambling that he knows this knowledge?
Worth a try.
She then directs the question to Andres of what did Peter hope to gain by doing this to you?
The the spirit, at first you're not sure what's going on because it's very quiet, and then it responds with, he gained life everlasting. There is another exhalation, and you watch as the cavity of the creature sinks. This wisp of white smoke, like a candle's vapor trail, seems to trail up and just disappear off into nothingness as the spell subsides.
Life
Oh.
ever left.
I'm just going to kind of look at Colm and do like a, does this make any sense to you?
No. I mean, life everlasting is sort of a catch-all. Perhaps he found religion, and he could be finding life everlasting through better living. It could be that he literally has gained everlasting life, a fountain of youth, if you will. It could be that the absolute spirit is Marmy, just off of his nut, if you will. He's dead anyway. What does he have to gain from telling us the truth? But let's suppose he is. Let's suppose he's being literal and that we have literally gained life everlasting. What does that look like? What do we think of that? How does that come out? Life everlasting.
Sounds like bad news.
It sounds like we wouldn't really know about it for at least a couple of years. And I honestly don't know if it matters to us whether or not he has everlasting life. Liz is then going to pray over the dead body and give him rights.
It should very well concern us. He is corrupting magic for a purpose that could be, let's say, nefarious. It's an abjuration of it's aberration of magic. It's not a way that it should be used. That in and of itself is the very nature of how our job should work. Is we are here to troubleshoot the inconsistencies and those individuals who are manipulating magic in a way that it shouldn't be used. To grant yourself an everlasting life is very well, by the definition, an improper use of magic. Don't you agree?
Liz just shrugs and just keeps praying.
I mean, it goes against the natural order of things. Things are birthed, born, created. They live a life of some sort and then they pass. That's just how it is.
They're meant to live longer than they're supposed to. then they would.
Like Liz, for instance, who will live far beyond I will, but still, that is the natural order of her. But to have a life that cannot end.
That seems miserable. I don't know why anyone would want that.
Depends on what he wants to do with it. If he's taking life everlasting, either he's got something he wants to do and he plans to do. Either
Even
it'll take
more
time to
important.
do it, but he may not even need all the time to do it. Oh. Sorry.
Hey, you were able to gift a tier, a sub. Thank you. I saw that you subbed earlier as well, so thank you very much. Raymond is fantastic. By the way, real quick, just diverging from the game for a moment. Raymond, I really hope you get to feeling better, my man. And I know you've been sick, so we're glad to have you here with us. Don't do stupid shit, okay? Just promise me you don't do stupid shit anymore. All right. So,
My question is the big guy, whatever the hell that was, had to be created. Must have been created. Could those have been practice for whatever this guy did?
That also could have been Peter. We honestly have no idea.
He could have tried.
But yes, it could also be practice.
If he can't
There-
figure out how to make his body live, he can just figure out how to put himself into another body.
exactly. And who knows, jump from one to another to the next, continuing the cycle. Perhaps that is the life everlasting that he found.
I guess at least switching bodies would keep things interesting.
But
For
also,
eternity.
Be something new every life. Looking through the papers we picked up from the chest, because I wasn't leaving those in case something happened. There were, I know it was money, and I did pick up all that, yes. But the papers with, like, they were passports and photos and things like that, right?
Mhm.
Looking through it, is it all, like, his face and then different names? But they are all the same picture?
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's like you would typically see, so it doesn't reveal anything about clothing.
Yeah.
It's literally like neckline up. Mhm.
After Liz is done praying, she's going to go get that coat and whatever else is left in that room, and she's
Mhm.
just going to bring it and be like, she gives it to Colm because she doesn't have the space. She doesn't. Her medicine bag is full of medicine, so she's just going to give it to Colm and be like, I don't know what you do with things, but here.
Colm looks at the coat, the lab coat, and just kind of thinks for a moment and goes, "Not really my style. Much more of a
No, the coat is mine. The coat is mine.
oh
She's already like wearing it.
oh yeah. The rest of the things, yeah. He takes them from you, opens, sets the accordion case down, and like rifles through several of them, and then puts them into the satchel, and then closes it up. Give me Arcana checks, the three of you.
Oh boy.
I know
There's,
you're really good at these.
there's something more I want to do with those passports after, but I'll wait for after. 15 for
11.
me.
That dice is going in jail.
That's a 2.
Plus 0.
How? 15.
The the drawings on the floor is way more blood used in these drawings than what you would find in that body.
Multiple sacrifices. Got it.
Colm is now walking around with a piece of paper, like a note in his journal, and he's making note of the symbols and then looking at all of them. He's just like, taking notes down.
They're Fae, right? That's what we learned like 2 sessions ago.
They're not
Or last
Fae.
session.
They're not Fae, but they are teleportation. And some of them appear to be a tie to the Feywild.
Liz just says, I wouldn't step on any of them. I don't know what sort of magic it is, so do be careful.
Easy way to find out.
Yeah, but let's not, just in case.
Chicken.
There is an extra
didn't
person in the room who I'm pretty sure is not going to mind if we just drop them on 4 circles and see what happens.
They don't need to be living to be.
I don't know how magic works.
Like you're asking the gunslinger how magic works.
Yeah, it's like us like trying to figure out magic. This Moonin and I are like.
I'm rationalizing it how it seems to work in my brain, okay?
No, it's fine.
Just the two of you are like monkeys with an obelisk. Just
Yeah.
Ooh.
Taking a knife, trying to open it that way. You know, the norms.
The normal stuff.
I am going to avoid the circles. If I remember correctly, there was an extra recess on the far side of this room.
That is correct.
I just kind of want to head that way and shine the torch down the way and see what's over there.
At the end of that hallway, you can definitely tell that there is another latch opening. It looks like another secret door. Hang on just 1 second here.
Sure.
All right. The latch opening seems to reveal another room.
I stick my head in and shine the light around. What do I see?
This room appears to be a study. A bookcase moves out of the way, allowing you entry, swinging open almost silently. There are almost no scuff marks on the floor that would reveal it. However, looking back at the bookcase, you can see that it is just imperceptibly floating above the ground. This room has a stone table, a desk that has some writing on it, like papers and things laid out on it. You see a chest, a portrait of Peter Dietrich in the corner. I went to grab my mouse and click. I forgot I'm not using a mouse on this computer. In this corner here, you see a picture of Peter.
Mm-hmm.
You see that he is standing in front of some sort of bastion or keep, some sort of large Gothic looking castle.
Sure.
Along with him, you see it's not just a picture of him, it's a picture of him and a few others that are all wearing similar like lab coats.
Before I poke my head into this room, I'm going to turn around and let the rest of the party know that there's a room here that I'm sticking my head into.
And as you stick your head back in, So
You know,
you
I don't trust it down here, so I am just making sure people know where I went.
I was about to say, do you want me to go first?
I'm already walking into the room.
Perfect. That's fine.
See if there's anything weird before I get too far in. Check for any kind of shenanigans.
So I have a question about the coat that Liz is currently wearing. Is there anything in the pockets? Because I know usually when I take off a coat, there is still like bits of like scrap paper and receipts and things of that nature in the pockets, or like candy and like other things. So is there things like that in the pockets, or is it purely clean?
no, actually there are some items in the pockets. Um there is a it's larger than a pen light, but it's basically a pen light. It's a bit bigger. You also see that there is a yeah. You see that there is a like a notepad or a journal like that you can flip through. It's bound with rings and it's about that size, as well as a small, or as well as a pen, a fountain pen, not a fountain pen. I'm sorry, a ballpoint pen that is in the pocket as well.
What language is the journal in?
Languages that you speak again?
I speak German, Norwegian, English, Sylvan, and there's one more, but I don't remember what it is.
It is written in German.
All right, so I can glean of what is in the context of the journal. Is it anything like important? Does it seem cryptic at all?
It's not. There's not a whole lot of information in there, but looking through there, it seems to be like posing hypotheses. Like, I think this may happen if this may happen if this. Um, that sort of thing. But one of the things that is mentioned in there is Innsbruck. Innsbruck, and then a question of it just says the word source and a question mark, and then the word battery, and that's what you have.
Liz would then relate that to the rest of the party, considering that we're about to go into the study to specifically sort of look for source, battery, and Innsbruck in any of the documents that we find.
Sure.
She points the words out to Moonin, who doesn't speak German.
I appreciate it. Because otherwise, I would just kind of look at the paper and just be like, mm-hmm.
That's a paper.
Those are words.
Those are words I don't speak. So the study itself.
Do I trust the study walking in? Do I see any shenanigans on the floor or
As
about?
the list just bolts past you into the room.
Okay.
As you enter into the room, nothing happens. All right. So again, study has a desk, an overstuffed chair. There are several pieces of parchment out on the desk, which look a little bit like invoices or like billing receipts. You see a chest in the in the northern part of the room, and then that's the picture next to it that has Peter and several others that are dressed in lab coats. The bookcase itself seems to have like medical journals. Some of them are old with techniques that are just have been proven not to work. Some of them seem to be newer. There are also excerpts from, and Colm starts to really glance over these as he looks excited. Some of the manuscripts that are written are magical nature. They're all about the arcane, and they have to deal with a school of magic that is often frowned upon just because of its manipulation of the natural world, and that would be necromantic spells. Um, there's a single stone bench, but on top it's not a bench, it's actually like a stone table. And you can see that there are several different like um, laboratory pieces, like small amounts of it that you could be messing with. These two things here are tanks, like giant fish tanks, big fish tanks sitting on wooden cases, but instead of having fish inside of them, you can see that the water in there is a bit too blue, and it doesn't burble and churn like something with a fountain would. It seems to be sitting there. Inside of it, you can see preserved as though they're in gel. They don't move. They're suspended in this stuff. In each one, you see two what appear to be hearts, but you can see that certain valves and certain chambers have been replaced with either leather and metal or straight metal or things like that. It has additional protrusions. You can see that it looks like a heart that's been worked on with outside sources.
Now, is there 4 hearts like there's 4 people in the picture?
There are not 4 hearts like there are 4 people in the picture. There are 4 hearts, and there's 2 and 2.
If Liz goes over to smell the tanks, would it smell of like formaldehyde or another like embalming solution?
It does not.
If I give you a perception roll, would it you be able to tell me what it smells like?
You can definitely give me a perception check, or actually investigation check.
All right. Investigation is 16. A perception is going to be 24.
Investigating this, you recognize that it is not your standard embalming fluids or the things that you're used to seeing. It's not even any of the old school like spices or herbs that were used to embalm or used for fluid for that sort of measure. You go to kind of reach, like prod it a little bit or something, and that's when you notice at the base of the case itself, like what it looks like it's sitting under the case, but you realize it's actually inside of the tank at the bottom of it. You see a thin metal mesh that runs completely from side to side, and then you recognize what the smell is. The smell that you smell in there is a very ozone electrical smell.
At this point, she'd call over Cole and she goes, I know what you're looking at is fascinating, and I want to see it as well. I know slightly frowned upon, but I want to see it. But come and smell this and look at this and tell me what you think. Also, is there a light switch in this room? I know that we haven't been turning on the lights, but is there a light switch in this room?
There's a pull chain. As you pull the chain, the light illuminates the room. And with a little bit of light in the room that's there, you can now see um, that this liquid almost has iridescence to it, like an oil slick. Kind of has that trend, iridescence to it. And Colm looks over it and says, "That is that live? That looks like an electric mesh."
That is what I gathered as well. I'm not sure if we should touch it, but I do believe that it is live and it is some form of goo. And I'm pretty sure that these hearts are preserved or working in some fashion. It seems like an odd accessory to have when it seems to have a purpose. So no, I wouldn't touch it, but yes, I do think they are live.
Fascinating. I wonder if we can get one of them out of there. A non-conductive stick. Would that just be a regular stick? I mean, wood. Just wood's not
The guy
conductive.
in the other room.
You just want to use this dude. Take his hand and cup it like this so you can reach in and grab it. You
Does
pull the tendon so it looks like one of the grippy hands.
We do have medical personnel here.
In character and out.
Mhm.
You can be anything you want to be. I want to play as a nurse. You are a nurse. Why would you want to play as a nurse? I know it.
done it before.
Because you're familiar with the material.
And I'm familiar with that time period nursing too, which is kind of fun. So the table itself, does it look like it's attached to anything? Like, I understand that this is probably electricity, but is it magical electricity or is it like plugged into a wall?
So the tanks are sitting on an enclosed case that has like doors underneath it that you can open. And they seem to be not attached to the wall, but just like up against the wall.
So we could technically take this case out of here.
I mean, you can, but we're talking like a big tank. Big tank.
Our cinnamon bun wants one of the hearts, and I don't think that we can get one of the hearts out safely for him to study, but we might be able to if we take the entire tank. And she relays this to like the rest of the party about how, she doesn't think that we should physically touch the hearts, but we might be able to take the entire tank out depending on things.
Well, two thoughts. One, what if that heart being suspended in electricity is keeping something running? Two, if it's not, why not just break the tank?
You could just do that.
Because if we break the tank, then it may no longer be running, may no longer be keeping the thing alive. And Colin wanted to kind of see it alive to study it, I thought.
But-
and she like looks over at Colin to like,
If we take it out,
double check.
isn't it gonna stop working?
I don't know, the magic may be attached to the tank.
Is there a way to check that? See if there is magic surrounding the tank?
Detect magic.
I'm just
Detect
gonna
magic.
tap on it and go, maybe.
Tink, tink, tink. There is a way to test it. Hear me out. There's 2 tanks, 2 hearts in each one. Those two over there in the tank, untouched, will be our control. This will be our variable, and smashes the glass.
You know,
Just take a dagger.
I'm this close.
Scientific method.
I have a hypothesis. Thanks.
I just like, yeah.
Wait, just a minute.
Tanks. Lysandra, there's 2 tanks. If we wreck one, no harm, no foul, there is another tank. I know we want to try and take them all out, but really we can't sit in here and try and test the variables to consistently test.
But I have a better idea. Why don't we take one of the tanks and just move it to another room, because the magic may be tied to this room, and if it is, great. If it's not, let's smash the one that we've already ruined.
I don't have the strength for that. I'm going to tell you that now.
I am the puny boy.
I am the tiny lad.
Hard to say.
He's
man.
a wee lad.
Not be able to help lift, sadly.
I can
But-
try, but I don't know how much help I'll be in that in that capacity.
What if we do try to lift it though, and it shifts? And it breaks?
Well, then it breaks.
Does anybody have detect magic? I don't. I'm asking for the class.
What are you drinking down there, sir?
Hmm?
What are you drinking there, sir?
A
I saw you
beverage.
kind of a beverage, an adult beverage, if you will.
It could be anything.
It's apple juice.
That's exactly what it is.
No one will suspect apple juice.
I do. I love apple juice.
You're drinking apple juice from
Why not?
from a whiskey glass.
I
Rocks
drink
glass.
sometimes from wine
Yeah,
glasses.
there you go.
I think
Thank
it's
you. That's what I
fine.
meant. I just bumped my glass and like splashed water everywhere. I'm happy.
Looking at this glass case, is it attached to the floor first and foremost? No?
The case does not appear to be attached to the floor.
Okay.
Like the wooden case that the glass tank is sitting on.
Yes. That was my main question. Actually there was water in it. My vote is just to break it. Otherwise,
Same.
I would like to just look at these.
There's a chest over there we could look at while they do their thing.
So you break it.
Are we breaking it? Yeah, we're breaking it.
I'll just see if I can make a little crack in the glass with like a dagger up against it, kind of thing.
You reach forth, and are you hitting it with the pommel or with the tip of the blade?
Tip. I've got more than one dagger. It's fine.
Pop.
Hydrate. Sorry.
Hydrate. Hail, hydrate.
I gotta go.
You take the dagger, the tip of the dagger, and put it against the glass and just kind of pop it. As you do, it does create this spider effect as your blade sinks into the glass. Unfortunately, the pressure equalization is now disrupted. As you do, you watch as the glass just spreads across there. And then it's not like watching a fish tank where it's like and water comes flowing out.
Is it like a jello or just like
It busts and it just kind of like oozes out.
Do the hearts ooze out with it, or do they like stay like in place?
They kind of stay in place for a second, but then as they like that part of it like oozes out, they themselves kind of tumble to it and then tumble out. Both of them, they land on the ground. As the rest of the gel seems to move away, you start to hear something like as the gel kind of like dissipates out, you hear what you could imagine would only be what the narrator from A Telltale Heart would have been describing in the entirety in stereo, as both of them start going boom 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 boom. And there's also a ticking sound. That's boom 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 boom.
Can I pick one up?
Is the ticking from the mechanical mechanical valve part of the heart?
So what you're getting at is that it's something to do with the mechanics of that. Yeah, you absolutely can pick one up.
I think
Is
He's
that a
trying to-
Polumu?
it is.
Pop it up.
He is squishy.
A lo-fi song. It's heartbeats to study by. So you pick one up, you hold it, you can feel it thumping in your hand, and the gel itself is kind of cool. As you pick it up, it like kind of gloops off little pieces here. The heart is actually warm to the touch.
Does the heart sound like a healthy heart, or is it sounding like it's very fast?
Other than the tick, it sounds like a normal thump 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 thump.
Now, I don't want to say I know how heavy a heart can be, but does it feel like this weight does not match the heart?
Does this feel
The-
like the last heart I had in my hand?
The last heart that I clutched in my hand as it beat its final beats. Does it feel like that? No. It's...
Happened, but the question still stands.
It does not feel the same weight as a normal heart, but that might be attributed to the extra pieces that are attached to it.
All right.
I'm gonna leave them to their heart's content, and I want to go look at that chest.
No, we're really getting to the heart of the problem now.
All right, both of you, inspiration. Jesus Christ.
I'll take it.
I love a good pun. I also like a bad pun.
I would say that was a bad
Yeah.
pun, but I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, cheers.
Oh, Kipper's over there.
All right,
Can
Liz.
Liz pull out her scalpel and try to see what is like ticking? Like, can she sort of perform heart surgery on this heart?
I'll hold it for
In your
you.
hand or like
Before you start cutting it up, didn't Colm want to see it? Question mark.
Oh, Colm is like staring over your shoulders. He looks a bit like somebody who's seen something squishy that they don't want to see. He's like,
Lick it.
Yeah, I mean,
Lick it for
Liz has
science.
had done this before, so she's pretty sure that she knows what she's doing. I mean, it's new because there's like mechanical pieces to it, but like she's like gone into a heart before, so she's pretty sure she knows what she's doing, and she's pretty sure that our sweet human cinnamon bun has not done this, so she's just letting him watch as she like digs into this heart.
So to say, the heart that I'm holding, I'll hold it for her. I am wearing a glove. It's okay. If she just wants to dig in. So it's held.
all right.
Oh no, she picked up the other heart.
All right.
While Empress was like looking, she picked up her own heart, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna start now."
That one too. All right. As you start to slice into it, give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Actually, scratch that. An Intelligence saving throw. Sorry.
My heart goes out
It is
to
a
you.
16 for an intelligence saving throw and a
All right.
19 for a con save.
Just the Intelligence saving throw. Sorry.
Call anything in his little accordion of secrets to put the heart in, and then
He doesn't.
Like
He seems rather stunned to silence at this moment. If you ask that, he starts rifling through one, but he seems like he's lost in thought or something. You slice it open, and as you do, a piercing scream cuts through your mind as you start to dig into this thing. My dice were on the floor. Sorry.
Cool.
Oh,
Flashbacks.
wow. Really? Are you shitting me?
Do we have another?
3d6? 3d6? Guess what they all are? I shit you not. I rolled 3 ones. So, with that in mind, you take 1 point of psychic damage as you start digging into this heart. Are you going to continue?
I mean, have I learned anything about this heart other than it tries to scream at me?
Not yet.
Then yeah, she's going to say, if I go mad, I don't have that much magic left, so you guys should probably be fine. But it did just try to scream at me, so you know. And she just makes another cut.
Oh, okay. I'm just going back away a little bit.
There is a let's see. Not Liz, since you are focused here. How about the other two give me perception checks, please? Look at the flowers, Liz. Look at the flowers.
Perception. Ha!
Ooh,
See nothing.
that die is a lot happier. That's a 24.
When she cut into it, out of the corner of your eye, you saw a pulse of something from back in the secret room, back where the chamber was.
Hmm. Hey,
Um,
Liz.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing to that heart seems to be echoing something in that other chamber.
prod, poke, slice.
Plus, she gets to use her new pen light on it.
Give me another intelligence saving throw, please.
That is a 12.
You take 8 points of psychic damage, and you are stunned as once more it like pulses energy that sounds like a scream in your head. As you watch, your ally is like
You could say it was
locked
a
in
shot
place,
through the heart.
and you're to blame. And
Nope.
Liz is to blame.
Definitely not me.
Not you. The bookcase, which was still open. You watch as a very tall, handsome figure sort of steps into the room, and with a very thick accent says, "I would ask that you kindly stop prodding into that. It is mine after all. I would ask you to put it back from where you have gotten it, but it appears as though you have destroyed the things that were holding it. Why are you here in my study?" Yeah, he looks very familiar. You've seen a picture of him, and you've seen travel papers with his picture in it.
Oh.
There was a description of handsome. Okay. That's fine.
Raymond shows up with a party boon.
Oh.
Advantage on the next 2 saving throws you have to make.
Lovely.
Liz, this will be the first one. Go ahead and give me another intelligence saving throw, please. Actually, no, I take that back. Do not do that. Sorry, it wears off at the end of the turn, so it's not something. You have.
She looks sheepish and just hands the heart back to him.
He moves towards you, and as he does, his eyes lock with yours. And You can see that he is human, but there's something different about his features. They're almost augmented to the point of being preternatural or ethereal, something about him. I need a wisdom saving throw from Liz, please. You have advantage on this. It was the rhinoplasty. He got his nose done.
It is 24.
His force of will as he locks eyes washes over you, and were you not so resolute in your own purpose of being, you would have succumbed to the charm that he cast over you.
I can't be charmed. I can't be charmed.
At all?
I thought it was you can't. If I was asleep.
You can't be put to sleep.
I don't know. My character sheet it says you can't be charmed and magic can't put you to sleep. Or maybe it's just advantage against being charmed.
You have advantage on being against charm. Elf maiden. He looks at you and kind of smirks and says, "You are more resilient than I thought." He turns his gaze to look at Emrys. As he does, Gej kind of backs up a little bit, and Colm is like, oh no. He floats almost across the floor. I mean, you see his feet move, but it's like
Graceful.
as he does it. And he's like right up in front of your face.
Did he take the heart? Or is she still holding it?
You're still holding it.
Okay, then she puts it down and she takes the jacket off as well. And she puts it like next to the heart.
In the
What
goop.
have you? Yeah, just
No, not in the
just
Sorry,
she goes
not
she
all
goes and pushes it into the other tank. It starts to like rise out of the edge of the tank. It's just spilling out over the side now. Peter's just like, could you stop? No, don't stop. Great. Now the pH balance is off completely. Emrys, he looks at you and says, "Your friend was strong of will, but what of you? Are you the same?" Wisdom saving throw.
I have advantage, right? I'm staring so hard because I know what this is. You get me every time. Probably gonna get me again with a 13.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. I'm glad I'm drinking wine tonight.
Well,
Jokes on us. There's going to be 9 episodes.
backup characters, B team.
Team Broccoli.
Team Butter.
No, that's too.
Barbecue?
No, literally the phonetic alphabet that we have today wasn't developed in the same way. So it was apples, butter, Charlie. So literally it was Butters. Team Butter or
Team Butters.
Butters.
Oh boy.
There are too many things to go along with that. I don't like it. I don't know. Okay. What's the damage?
There's no damage.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you just trust him implicitly.
Ah. A friend.
And if he asks for your protection, you would give it willingly to him.
Oh shit, here we go again. Alright.
He
At
turns
this
his
point,
gaze.
Can Liz go over to Moonin and cast guidance on him?
Guidance will help with an ability score check. What you would need is called resistance.
I also have resistance.
Resistance. Good,
Smack,
because
smack, 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 smack.
he turns to look at Moonin. And
So-
of you, what of you?
What does resistance do now?
It gives you a D4 to your saving throw, which I need you to make a saving throw for me. It's wisdom. It is going to be
At
you have
advantage with the
and a
D4?
D4, correct?
Wisdom 24.
You also resist the call of his charm.
Not my type.
100% mine.
Liz is then also going
Colm.
to try to get Colm before.
Colm
Before
has
he or
received
she
a
gets-
luck, stating, Colm, don't let him tell you what to do.
And he then moves towards Colm, and Colm looks nervous. Yeah, I got you. You cast resistance. As he looks at Colm and tries to lock his gaze, Colm pushes his glasses up, which flash anime style, and looks at Peter and says, "No, I don't think you and I will ever be friends." And with that, Colm reaches into the accordion case and pulls out the handle of a sword. And then whips it across the room. Actually, slides it across the room to Moonin. And with that, I need you all to roll initiative for me.
Okay. What am I going to do with the sword?
Swing it!
Hopefully, something.
Do we roll? Yes, we roll by dice, yeah?
Yeah, you can roll by die.
I forget. Oh. Okay.
I mean,
Well, I've got
do
double.
you know how to use a sword? Are you proficient with swords, or should Liz pick it up? Because Liz has proficiency in swords.
I know how to use weapons. I prefer range, but I can use up melee if need be.
Just making sure.
Sure. The
I have
turn order on
a-
Roll20 reset, there's nothing there.
Yeah, hang on just 1 second here.
Okay.
I've got to pull Gej. Which I forgot Gej was in the room. Sorry, Gej. And Gej needs to give a wisdom saving throw as well.
I would hope that he would be okay. Just because
I
Thinking
also
very
hope he doesn't have the flamethrower.
I'm. Wait, that makes everything much more interesting. Yep. Lil Given's right. Take the sword handle, put it in the gun, and then shoot it.
Boom. 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 Zing.
This is how you do this, right?
This is
Question
how
mark?
works. Blades, correct? Sword launcher,
Alright.
exactly. I'm gonna just roll through D&D Beyond.
All right, give me 1 second here. I'll add you all to the turn order. Oh, you just did it through there? Okay.
Whew, okay.
I think you go first. Add turn.
I will be. I didn't expect that.
17. Okay. Okay, and then we need to put our peoples up here.
I have to mark like. I think I should start making a counter for how often you catch me on this.
Yeah, because if we count in the Tuesday night game for the menagerie,
It's like 4
I
times now?
used you to deal most damage to the people in in the room.
I think we're at 4. So you also did this to me on Monday?
Yeah. I did this to you a lot. So we had a game on Tuesdays. This is a friendly one. And you were playing as probably the most powerful one there.
It was homebrew, so it was a little broken.
It was
we also
broken
played
as
at
hell.
we were playing at really, really high levels too, so the damage just got real
It was
bad.
just gross after a minute or two.
Yep. 3 shots, and then there was
Mhm.
type damage, and I needed saves for each one.
Oh yeah.
I think one fight you caught me. I took down 3 party members before they took me down.
Yeah, you like dropped party members to 0. All right, so this right here is our buddy
Oh,
Peter.
hello, sir. I zoom.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing I crit. It looks like he crit failed his roll. Whatever. Maybe.
Yeah, he did not do well on that roll. I kind of want to use this one for our good friend.
Home.
All right, so yeah, it's basically somebody who looks like the dude. So this will be Colm. And Colm has a 16.
Is
No.
Gesh on our side, or is he on
Gej
your
is
side?
on. Gej appears to have resisted the call of the bad guy. With that being said, our first one up is Emerus, and you see that he is requesting your aid in murdering folk.
Well, with the knowledge I know of who does damage here, I'm sorry, Moonin.
Come at me.
I have advantage because of assassinate. Would be a 21 to hit.
No. Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah. Hold on, because I had advantage, I also get my sneak attack. And that'll be revolver, so it's 2d8.
Are you just shooting me?
25, yes.
Okay. Sure.
That's 25 damage.
That it is.
At the end of your turn, Emerus, is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
Colm is going to reach into his accordion case and pull out a patch. It looks like a piece of like adhesive bandage, and he is going to throw it. You are going to get you're going to get 10 hit points back. Moonin.
Sure. I appreciate you, little dude.
As Colm uses a legendary action.
Okay.
That brings us to Moonin.
I didn't like that at all. No, I did not. I'm just gonna shoot you with the rifle.
Are you shooting Emerus with the rifle?
That hurt a lot.
Just shoots back at you. How'd the party die? They killed each other.
I can't take another one of those, friend. Actually, what is this sword thing that I have? Before I just shoot Everett.
As you pick it up, you kind of understand how to make it work. You draw it across your body and just basically utter the word Lumos, and it bursts into a bright blade that burns like sunlight. On your character sheet, if you would like to add Sunblade.
Yes. The longsword?
It will manifest itself. Yes, it's a longsword. I'm not gonna. It is a longsword. Keep in mind that the luminous blade emits bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet. The light is sunlight. While the blade persists, you can use an action to expand or reduce its radius of bright and dim light by 5 feet each to a maximum of 30 feet each or a minimum of 10 feet each. So you can make this room burn with sunlight, basically.
Lovely. I guess I'm gonna take a swing at this dude with the sun sword.
I will say this. There's a key thing on here I want to tell you. While the blade exists, this magic longsword has the finesse property. Just so you're aware, you can use your dexterity on it.
Lovely.
Anyway.
Yeah. We'll take a swing.
All right, go for it.
Weird fella.
Peter?
That guy betrayed me.
No.
That's...
Remember, you get a +2 bonus to attacks as well.
That's a 28 to hit.
Okay, folks, that's it. Gotta go.
It's an 18 plus 10.
Uh, 28. Yeah. Let me just double check this. Do the math. Carry the 7. Multiply by 2. Divide by 17. Yes, that hits.
Cool. That's a D8 plus 5. Oh, cool. That is 12 damage.
Okay. And you hit him with the sword.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. Add 2 to that because it gets a plus 2 to damage as well, yeah?
So 14.
Yeah.
All right. Is that your
And
turn?
I'm gonna bonus action shoot Emrys.
Remember, you are level 5 as a
Oh.
gunslinger, which is a fighter subclass.
Gets
So
that
I can
extra-
attack
Fighter.
again and then
You
bonus
can
action.
hit him again and then bonus action.
Don't worry, Emrys, that bonus action's for you. I'm gonna hit him again.
Oh, thanks.
I like that die. We'll use that again. Yeah! That's 2 less. That's 26.
That is still a hit. Just so you're aware.
Thank goodness. D8. That's an 8. So that's 10, 15 for that one.
Okay.
And then for Emrys, my buddy, my
You
pal.
use your dice in jail. I'm a baby.
It just blows Emrys away in one shot.
Actually, my health is not bad. My AC.
I'm going to use my inspiration for that.
Rolls a nat 20.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I don't even care what the damage is right now. I'm gonna tell you I'm using my uncanny dodge. So
That's
I'm
fine.
having that damage. I don't care.
Cap said it,
good.
and it literally was on a journey and stopped when Cap said it, and it was just
I
20.
blame you for this. You put it out there.
Put it into the universe, and it just materialized.
Wonderful magical powers.
Just, be happy it doesn't have all the pizzazz on it it could.
Like sneak attack.
Yeah, yeah.
Because how much damage would that have been? You did 25 points of damage. Let's just double that had you rolled a nat 20 or had a crit. That would have been what, 50 points of damage? How would you have looked at that, Moonin?
Dead.
0. Oof.
Yeah, so that's okay. I'm glad I could return the favor. Because with 4d8 plus 5 was 21.
21, dividing that by 2, so I'll take, 11?
Mm-hmm.
21, 10.
10? Okay.
At the end of your turn, Peter shrieks away from the blade. He moves up to his entire speed without provoking an attack of opportunity. He disappears into the room that he came from. So he moves backwards into this room.
And I'm going to move behind Liz. And that'll be my turn.
Okay.
You're like, no.
Okay. So then at the end of your turn, he moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He stands on this circle. Although I don't think any of you can see him. He hasn't done anything yet. Because he can't. It's not his turn. All right. However, it is now Liz's turn.
You say he was?
He moved into this room and then out of sight. Like, you'd have to move in there to see him.
I kind of need to see him. So
I mean, you need to move into the room then, because he's out of the sight of you.
yeah, but that provokes an attack of opportunity from Emerus, right?
Could.
Can I see both of them at the same time? If I move,
That would break Emerus's reach,
You'd
which
still get swung at.
could provoke an attack of opportunity.
but can
But
I
you
see
would
both
be able
of
to
them?
see. Yes, you can.
All right, then I'm going to do Bane against those two. So I need a charisma saving roll
A charisma saving throw? From both of us?
from Emerus and from Peter.
All right. You say wisdom save?
Charisma.
Correct.
Charisma save. I like charisma saving throws.
So do I, since I still have one charisma save advantage throw left.
What is your DC?
15.
Okay. Peter saves with an 18.
Roll the 17.
So nothing happens. And that is my turn.
Did I get an
All right.
attack of opportunity on Liz?
If you wanted to take it, you could.
If I wanted to take it, do I have an option to not take it?
Yes. And
Even
keep in
under
mind, you are not under his control. Remember,
I just-
charm doesn't put you under his control. You just heed them as a trusted ally and friend. You will do anything in your power, reasonably within your power, to carry out actions given to you.
Okay, and he wants to be protected, which Liz is attacking him, so yes, I would attack. Sorry. At least under my mentality, that's what it would be.
It literally says,
um,
although you're not under its control, you will take action in the most favorable way that you can.
it misses with a 13 more than likely.
Oh yeah, that misses. My armor class is 18.
Perfect. Good to know.
All right. At the end of your turn, or no, it is now Colm's turn. Colm is going to go 5, 10, 15. He reaches into the accordion and comes out with what appears to be a small jar. And it's a small jar, like it's about that tall, it's about that big around. It has this weird looking top on it. You watch as he kind of breaks the top and then wafts it underneath your nose. Yes.
Okay.
Give me another wisdom saving throw.
That would be at north.
Mm-hmm.
2?
It is pungent smelling, and it seems to try to like break into your nose. But yeah, you wave it off. And he looks at it and goes, "Damn it!" and throws it down on the ground. That is Colm's turn as he tries to interact with something. Gage looks at Emerus, looks at Liz, and goes 5, 10, 15, 20. And then Gage is going to. I mean, technically, he still has the flamethrower.
Technically.
Gage doesn't leave home without his flamethrower anymore.
Trusted companion.
Mm.
I should throw.
It verfs flaming. Okay. A 15-foot cone of flame erupts from there, catching Peter, who must give us a saving throw. Who definitely succeeds and then takes this much damage. Halved. Okay. It seems to have done some damage, but maybe not as much as we all would have hoped for. All right. And then that will be Gej's turn. And at the end of Jesus' turn, Peter is going to use another legendary action. No, he's not. He's not going to do anything because at the start of his turn, he casts a spell, and as he finishes the spell, he disappears. The runes on the floor where he was standing, the circle, glow for a second before dissipating. As soon as he does, your charm breaks. Damn it, he's gotten away. Well, at least we know what he meant by life everlasting. Do you remember back in our first mission, you told me something important? That you met with someone who pointed at you and said, kill them all. And then one of their spawn attacked you. Is that correct?
Still have the tooth.
That was its sire. A thing of myth, legend, and lore, and he starts fishing through the accordion and pulls out a book that is written in a language that you've seen, but I don't think any of you speak. It is Romani, but it seems like an older version of it. But as he starts flipping through the letters, you can see and make out a very stylized Gothic written Vampyr. Vampire. Did any of you get a good look at him when he was in the small town?
I think I was the only one that would have been able to get a view of him. It was either me or Gej.
Give me an
I
intelligence check.
See him at all.
Let's check. Okay.
What did you get on your straight intelligence roll?
19.
It looking at him and watching his motions, you realize that even though your view on him was brief, you think it was the same person. Gej looks at you and says, it was. It's the very same. Calm looks at Moonin and says, don't lose that blade. It'll come in handy once we face him again.
I'm going to look at the blade. Just kind of flip it so it's blade down, walk over to the heart that was getting cut up, and just
Okay, and just like drive it in there.
drive it through, yeah.
As you do, it's like screams. It doesn't cause you any damage, and it bursts into flames. And you watch as it quickly like burns up and turns to ash and mechanical pieces. Liz, one of the 4 circles that are there, flares up and like it's a column of flame for a second before it dies down, and you can see that the symbol itself is charred and ash, and it kind of like no longer keeps itself. It's sort of like with a wind out of nowhere, just sort of blows away. Can't hear you.
One more time, Liz. Nothing came through.
Yeah, I can hear it picking up like the push to talk, but I can't hear anything through there.
That looked like an explicitive, but I couldn't hear it.
In the meantime, Colm looks over the two of you and sees to tending any of your wounds.
Ow.
In the meantime, Moonin, I'm so sorry.
Ow. Wasn't your fault.
Hopefully it won't again. But with me, I make no promises.
Ah, yes. I agree with that
Boom,
sentiment.
boom. Stabbing all of them, the same thing happens. Each one of the symbols flares up and burns away.
I don't like the
Leaving
idea of him
nothing.
being able to pop in.
Yeah, leaving nothing behind when all four symbols are now nothing but ash and pieces scattered in there. Colm looks at the lot of you and says, I think that it's time we've left. We've got more information than what we had before. Let's
There's
gather
still a
anything we
chest
can.
over here on the wall of his stuff, presumably.
I agree. Let's gather everything we can that might be
Mhm.
evidence to help find him, locate him, or otherwise shut him down. You check the chest. I'm interested in some of the books that are here, as well as some of the paintings that are on these walls. But we, chat, are going to take a break. So give us about 10 minutes. We're going to come back. Actually, what do you guys think? 10 minutes? 10 minutes would be good. Come back 10 to the hour. All right,
Yeah.
great. Give it 10 minutes. We're going to put another tweet out there. If you would, go ahead and share the tweet. And we will be back shortly. And everybody get up and stretch and stretch and stretch. Thank you to Just Enough Wrong, Decca, to JT, to Tiger, and to Raymond, and just everybody who is in the chat with us tonight. Thank you for being here with us, watching the show. We really appreciate you guys. We'll be back soon. We're going to get up, refresh our drinks, visit the loo, and all these other things. So we'll be back soon. See you in about 10 minutes. Bye, guys. Hi everyone. Sorry, I was finishing the last bite. Caught me off guard.
The timer waits for no one.
That's right. You see, you need to keep the timer up because it keeps me being an honest man. I had mentioned earlier to all of those who are watching that I've been making banana pudding this weekend for some friends of mine. Well, I tried 2 different recipes, and one of them was like, take your vanilla pudding and add the normal stuff, which I do mine a specific way, so I did it that way. But then it's like fold in whipped cream and then throw in extra vanilla on top of that. And I'm like, when I got finished making it, it was good, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't like I want my banana pudding to have like a firmness to it. And this really didn't. It was very creamy and like thinner than normal. So I made a second one, and this time I did it. And what I do is when I fold my milk in, put my milk in, instead of adding 3 cups of milk, which is what the recipe calls for, I do 2 cups of milk and 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. And it makes it naturally firmer anyways, and it's really good that way. And then I add a lot of cookies because honestly, it's all about the Nilla wafers. That's the reason you have banana pudding, is so you can have all the cookies lined in the dish. Then I put in the vanilla, then I line it with banana and cookie again, then another layer, and then more banana and cookie on top
It's
of
really
that.
just cookies with some pudding.
There's bananas in there. I know. I used at least 2 or 3. I had a big roasting, like chicken roasting dish that I put it in because I don't have a trifle. There's no booze in this. So I had a lot of cookie in there, and then, like I said, I put a layer of banana and then cookie and then pudding and then banana and cookie again, so I could call it banana pudding because it had bananas in it.
They're in there.
They're in there. Off camera, I went to the doctor's today, and I'll talk more about that. But all good news. So that was all. It was all good stuff. But anyways, but there can be maybe. I would really maybe. I mean, I don't know.
There is a banana liqueur.
I mean, yes, and I could incorporate that in there, but my fear about using a banana liqueur mixed in with the pudding mix is that it wouldn't firm up properly.
Probably not, and it's also gross.
Because it's also gross. I could use a vanilla vodka. But again, I don't know how it would firm up. I'd have to try it out.
Or maybe like a coffee.
Hey, Tim, man, I haven't seen you in forever. Everybody say hi to Zero Omega Prime. That's Tim. That's a friend of mine.
Hello, Tim.
Hello.
That does sound like a good idea.
What's that? The vanilla vodka?
No, the banana liqueur for banana saucers.
That's fair. You eat it with a straw because it's fun, and not because you need to. I mean, Jello shots aren't supposed to be jiggly; they're supposed to slide out. But I just don't know.
Don't be a coward.
Don't
That's it.
be a coward. You know, I have never done a Jello shot in my entire life.
What?
Okay. Next time I see you, we'll
Same.
change that. Next time I see you, we'll change that.
Winter Fantasy 2021, 2022. I mean,
I'll do my best.
I just drink my liquor. I don't need to eat it.
I'm
it's
a
a you.
coward. I like Jello shots, but I'm not a coward when it comes to Jello shots.
drink my liquor. I don't need to eat it.
Put
the
that on a
best part of
shirt.
Jello shot
What I was
is that you
gonna say.
can usually take it out of a lady's breast, which is like the best part.
Yeah, but I think the girlfriend would frown upon that.
Girlfriend
Unless
on the-
it's her chest, I guess.
She'd be much more happier if it was her chest.
We have gotten very sidetracked.
Partner would probably enjoy that as well.
You mean we're playing D&D? Because that's like...
This is usually how it goes.
Because like on Sundays we play, but we literally get maybe 2 out of the 4 or 5 hours we're together. 2 of it is playing. The rest of it's us bullshitting, eating, having a good time. But that's what it's all
Believe
about.
me. I know that feeling.
Yeah, so on Sundays, I go and play with my friends Megan and Chase and JJ and Brock, and
Yeah.
and hey, you remember Megan and Chase? Yeah, we all get together and play, and we do like a potluck, which is another reason why I've been cooking so much, because I've been doing like bringing something over there for them. But it's always a long drive. For me, it's like 40 minutes, and so anything I make, I have to make sure it'll transport well. So I made a chicken dip. My mom has made her homemade hot sauce, and I use that to make a buffalo chicken dip with. And so far, everything else that I've made has been a hit with these guys. So,
Oh, I gotta shoot you a recipe for a buffalo pizza dip.
you better shut up and kill me now. Send that to me, please.
I'll have to track that back down, but
I have gotten so much into cooking that my butter tray in my refrigerator is full of butters that have yet to be opened, and I literally have 4, 16, 18, like between 18 and 20 butters in the refrigerator, like full sticks.
you're ready for Team Butters.
I am ready for Team Butters. Also, I keep cream cheese in the fridge now for anything that I want to make, and like all this stuff. Tonight I made, for those of you who follow me on Facebook, I made chicken nuggets. Basically took chicken and sliced it and then cut it in half so that I had small pieces, and then breaded it with flour, and there was paprika and salt and garlic salt and pepper and dill, and it was delicious. The kids loved it. So, and made homemade mashed potatoes.
Next, you just gotta get like little dinosaur cookie cutters and make your own homemade dino nuggets, and you are golden.
No. I need a new channel where it's just me talking about this and just like bullshitting it out. Isn't that how the YouTubers get started? It's just YouTube channel with me cooking.
We could
Be
pick
like,
one of
I
our
don't
free
know.
days of the week and just like cooking with Dire Bear.
Yes, dining with Dire Bear. There you go. All right, so
It's just Cap cooking.
it's Cap cooking. That's a good one. Cooking with Cap. All right, today we're gonna go ahead and bring us. We're gonna make us a nice brisket here. We've had this puppy on the fire for about 6 hours there. We're gonna go check it right now. Don't mind the smoke; it's a bit thick at this point in time, but that's what you're looking for. All
If
right.
your eyes are watering, you know you're at the right step.
Yes, that's correct. We're gonna use the. I know it's a bit sacrilege to some of them peoples out there, but we're gonna take time to use an electric smoker. It's just easier to do there. I don't know where this accent came from, but here we are. Anyways, you guys are investigating this room because we are playing a game of D&D here.
I'm just gonna. I'm not feeling great. I'm just gonna sit down.
yeah, you were hit pretty hard.
Party boon.
Party
Emrys. Bad boys are bad news.
Party boon.
Party boon, and it says Emrys, comma, bad boys are bad news.
Sorry. Hey, at least I'm cute, right?
Got that going for you. Tell that to the hole in my side.
Yeah.
Because he's
Speak
French.
into this. It's the hole where the bullet entered me.
I'll just go over and I'll just like with a cloth and like stop the bleeding. Help! I'm helping now. Sorry.
Is it like a dam? Do I put my finger in there to stop the fluid from coming out?
I have
Oh,
no, never mind. I thought I had some sort of small medical kit. That's a poisoner's kit. I'm not gonna do that.
Please don't administer medication from your poisoner's kit.
Hey, that's how
he
I.
just
That's how I
stopped
trick him.
moving. I don't know what happened.
I stopped the bleeding is stopped though. Do you see that? Because there's a bunch of poison
'Cause it's
stabbed
just-
into the wound.
You know
Yeah.
what? If he exsanguinates, then yes, the bleeding will stop.
I think
I'll
my
s-
next level's gonna be cleric, guys. No, I'm kidding.
I'll start rolling up a new character.
If he stops bleeding because there's no blood left in him, the bleeding still stops. I'm just saying.
It's a win-win situation. Am I wrong?
Okay.
All right. Party boon. I need someone in the chat to roll 3d8 for me.
Someone in the chat, 3d8. Oh gosh.
Someone in the chat roll 3d8.
This
We're gonna get a
also
bunch of
puts
people.
back on that jacket.
All right, so you put your jacket back on. You were like taking it off. Sorry. Your dice are at another house. Well, I mean, that's fair.
What do you mean you don't have just lots of dice around?
15. Okay.
A 7, a 4, and a 3. So,
So
14.
7, a 4, and a 4. So we got 15. We'll go with that one. So 15 plus 4 for a total of 19. Or you can take my roll, which could be higher or lower. Either way, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Plus 4. What do you guys say?
I'm good with the 19. That's my vote.
Yep. Everybody? What do
Sure.
you think? Okay. All right. You all heal 19 hit points.
Cool. That brings me back.
That put me exactly to feeling great.
Just so you know, I rolled 17 plus 4 for 21.
I only needed 10, so I was good.
I don't think some of you didn't even take any damage, but
No,
All right.
just
No, all of us
invest.
are damaged.
Yeah. Investigating the room. That's right, because you guys had the fight too before that.
I was going
Investigating
to
the
look
rest
at a
of the room.
chest.
You were going to look into the chest. All right. Oh, I get to heal Gage 19 points of damage too. Woo, woo, woo. I took good care of you, Voodoo. Don't worry, I took good care of you. I didn't get Gage killed.
And they got to use a flamethrower.
You did. You got to use the flamethrower. That
And
might be the most disappointing part because because Voodoo didn't get to do it himself. It's like
that's fair.
aw.
Just be happy the flamethrower wasn't partially
Sad
at one of
flamethrower.
us.
Sad flamethrower noises. Yeah, no,
Yes.
he passed his wisdom saving throw with a 22, I think, was what I ended up with. No, it wasn't that high. It was like a 20, like a 19 or a 20, something like that. Okay, looking through there, you can see that it is. There are opening the chest. It is neatly. It's a velvet lined item, and you see neat little rows, and the neat little rows have dropped in there what appear to be frames, and some of them you can see what looks like folders. Like you're looking at the edge of a frame, so like you could reach in and pull it out. You can also see that, like I said, there are folders in there and things like that.
I will start on one end and just kind of every so often pull something up and see what it is.
All right, pulling up one of the frames, it appears to be a plane of glass, and inside of it is a it looks like a picture, but it's trapped in there. As you turn it over, it looks like the back of whatever it was you were looking at. So, like the first one you pull out has this green or ugly looking snarling creature with a hooked nose and a flat sort of head, long claws and long arms, and it looks like it's a forced perspective where it's coming at you, like this, but it's on a flat surface, and it looks like an animation that was wedged between two pieces of glass and then framed out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You get an image of it now? As you're holding it, what's your passive perception?
16.
As you start to put it back in, or as you start to kind of look at the rest of the box and then look back at this, it's almost imperceptible, but you think it may have moved.
The box or the frame?
The thing inside the frame. Okay.
And then I'm going to look at it and see what happens. I'm going to etch a sketch the frame and see what happens.
It looks like it's been repositioned and it's like no longer snarling at you. It looks like it's moved off to the side a little bit. Jesus, that image was perfect. You all look over to see Moonin holding this thing and then go and then look at it again.
I'm going to check the other frames, see if the other ones have anything in them.
The others they do have some things in them. You see what appears to be a man, a human, and it looks like he's banging on the frame.
I'm going to take that one and just go like this.
He's still in place. His hand is still against the glass like this.
I'm going to look at the files, because as entertained as I am, I don't know what this is. I don't want to sit here and keep messing with it. What are in the little folders?
The folders have appear to be like dossiers of certain things, and one of them says troll, and it seems to be like definitive information laid out about a troll. Um, Habitat, eating habits, location where it can be found, how to defeat it. I mean, it's a pretty much a workup like you would see Calm would have.
Okay.
The next one is labeled Doppelganger.
Okay.
And there's 5 of these frames and 5 of the files.
I'm just gonna bring the whole thing over to Colm.
Okay. It's pretty, I mean, it's pretty sturdy. It's pretty heavy chest.
I'm gonna go get Colm and bring him to the chest.
Colm goes over and looks at it, and he's like, this is extensive information. It appears as though it's the same information that we would have at the library.
Yeah, and have you seen
Um,
something like this before? If you like wiggle it, they move inside.
He's like, don't do that. Don't, if you drop it, it's a stasis field in the glass. It's a way of trapping a creature for study and for ease of transport. Let's say you're a dangerous criminal, and we needed to move you from one place to another. What better way to do that than to trap you in sort of a stasis field? Time passes infinitely slower, or I'm not really sure. I've never been inside of one, but the idea behind it is it's a way to trap them in there. They don't move normally, so it looks like they're sitting still, but they are actually moving.
I figured that out, and I'll pull up the troll frame where he's like all the way on the one side now.
Yeah, he like you can see like there's barely some movement. Oh, poor thing. Did you shake this one? Could you not do that?
A little
Could
bit.
you not do that? It's rude.
I didn't know what it was.
Fair. To your point, fair, fair. All right. So let's see what the others are. So we have a troll. Yes.
So while Colin is away from the bookshelf, Liz would want to look to see if there are any that are in Sylvan because she knows that he doesn't speak it that well. And if there are, she will probably put them in her pocket.
There are none that are in Sylvan. These are all written in some human language. They all seem to be manifestos, or some of them have like spell techniques in them. So they, in the right hand, they could be studied and probably understood. So Colm is looking at these creatures. You have the troll, the doppelganger. There is one that looks to be like a pile of refuse, and it says Otiak is the name of that one. One of them appears to be a bird about that big. Well, I mean, looking at it, it seems to be a bird about that big, like a rooster, but scraggly and with very few feathers. It tries to meet your gaze, but it seems like it can't quite catch your eye. The folder with it says cockatrice, and whenever Colm reads that one, he immediately slides the framing back into its place. The last one that he pulls up, I'm going to actually send to the virtual tabletop so you guys can see it.
He's saying this all out loud, right?
Yes, he is telling
Okay.
me what these are.
Okay, so at the word of doppelganger, I'll come and start paying a little bit more attention.
All right, give me just 1 second. I got to pull this up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that was in there, but it must not be. Must be in Volos, maybe? Maybe it is in Volos. Yes, there it is. looking at it, your original thought is that it looks like a unicorn, but it's not. Its ears are not like a horse, it's longer. It doesn't have a horse's face. It seems to be made out of gold, and that is the image that you see.
Oh,
As Calm looks at it, he pulls the folder out and looks at it, and he no, 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 no. This is a Kirin. None of you just, it looks like whoop, right over. He goes, you have to understand. A Kirin is basically like the epitome of good. It's they are bringers of boons. They are nearly a godhood type creature that are adored and loved. They aren't what? I don't understand. We we need to free this thing.
How do we free this thing, Colin?
Colm looks at you and goes, "Yes. We need to
Probably
make sure
not
that
in here.
I was about to say, probably outside.
I agree. Let's take it outside. Gather." And he starts taking the folders and shoving them into the accordion case, and then he carefully takes the frames and puts them in there as well.
Should we not release all of the frames?
Some of these are very dangerous creatures, and I don't think that's a good idea. No. This one, though,
I don't think
this
that troll
one-
is very happy with me. I think he should stay in there.
and he quickly runs out. Quickly, come. I think you already probably know. These doors are not locked, and they lead to the exit that you guys found.
All right.
Making a quick move through there, you and your party exit the building back out. We can go ahead and swap it over if you want to. You want a beer suddenly? A Kirin? As you make your way back out to the surface, Calm quickly takes the frame and lays it down gently. And you can see that there are four small, like it looks like screws that have been placed in there. He carefully studies them and looks at any of you and he says, "I don't suppose any of you can dispel magic, can you?"
Depends on your definition of dispel.
I don't think that shattering the frame would help. It would fracture the creature within the stasis field,
Don't want to do that.
trapping them across several different locales.
Well, if there are
Hmm.
screws, I could take them apart.
That's the thing, though, is that these aren't just screws. You can't just sit there and take it apart. There's something more about them. They're magical. They act as magical locks, if you will.
Well, dispel magic is a no on me.
Not in my wheelhouse, I'm afraid.
How do cleric spells work?
Cleric spells, if you know the spell, like as you gain a level, you get access to all of those spells within that list. If you can cast it, then you can cast it, like you just have to memorize it. Ritual casting for clerics is if it is one of your currently prepared spells and it is a ritual cast, you can cast it as a ritual cast, but it has to be something you've already had prepared.
Okay, so I could technically do this after a like resting period.
A nap.
After a long rest, you can cast it as a ritual if you prepare it.
Okay, she would relay that information, saying, I don't have the ability to right now. I am the elf equivalent of exhausted, but give me like 4 hours and I probably can do it.
Maybe it's time we head to the villa.
Okay.
We do have a lovely spot away from everything right now.
So getting in the car and taking the trip to the villa. It takes you better part of an hour or so to get there. The villa is well stocked. You can see that the staff is there on hand to help out in any way that you need. They porter your bags into the villa, and you are able to take a long rest. Go ahead and everybody take a long rest.
After the long rest, she would try to dispel magic.
Okay. Yeah. Give me 1 second here. I'm enjoying a nice cup of coffee. I found a 0 sugar caramel macchiato today, so that's what I'm trying it out. It's pretty good. Yum 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 yum.
Sounds lovely.
Well, during the holidays and like different seasons, it's easy to find like a 0 sugar pumpkin spice or a 0 sugar peppermint mocha. And once it's done, my 0 sugar options are Italian sweet cream or French vanilla. I really don't, or hazelnut maybe. I really don't like the hazelnut and the French vanilla option, and the Italian sweet cream can go so far. But so whenever I can find something that's 0 sugar and has a little different flavor, I try to enjoy it.
Do you like pumpkin spice? Because I have a pumpkin spice sugar-free like packets. They're fake sugar packets. I'm happy to send them to you if you want me to.
I usually like the liquid stuff over, and pumpkin spice isn't really one that I usually drink. And like I've got the powder. I can find the powdered ones. Okay, like I've got a
No,
chocolate
no, no.
cream
It's
powdered one.
sugar. It's not creamer. It's sugar, not creamer.
Oh, hmm. Maybe I'll think about that. All right. Hands down, you cast the dispel magic on this device. I need you to give me a d20 roll and add your casting modifier. Clearly, I need to stock up during the holidays.
17.
Excellent. You finish casting the spell magic, and as you do, the 4 screws on the corner like undo themselves and fall out. the plate itself starts to shift and rise and kind of blows up in the air. And as you do, you watch the plate that's left behind expand. And this creature, like watching something like a shrinky dink in reverse, goes and starts to expand. Before you stands the
Forgot Shrinky
huge.
Dinks were a thing.
This
Now,
huge.
Now I assume that we will be able to speak to this, but if not, she would have also prepared tongues on herself.
It expands, and before you stands this huge celestial being. It dips its front. It dips its head and its forward knees down to give you a bow. In your head, regardless of language, because it does speak literally all of them, as well as telepathy, you hear a voice. Thank you kindly for freeing me. I feel as though I should repay you in some manner. Do not refuse my gift, child. I am more ancient than even you. For millennia, the veil between this world and the magic world was strong. Humans have weakened it. I wish to provide you with a single item. It closes its eyes, and as it does, you see a tear form in the corner. It rolls down and drops. The Karen pulls its leg up and catches it and offers it to one of you to take.
Sure.
It is
Do I
literally
just
like
pick it up or like?
it's the size of a D10, like so it's like this size. The tear of a Kiren is very powerful. As you drop it,
Honestly, Liz probably would have went out to grab it, considering that she was told not to refuse the gift.
if you find yourselves in troubles, you may rely upon me for assistance, or you can use that to grant yourself a single wish. Do so with wisdom and a good heart.
I will. Thank you.
It bows its head once again
And-
before kicking up to the sky.
I will just put it in a pocket.
As quickly as it arrived from the plate, it disappears into the sky. You now have a Kirin boon or a tear from the Kirin. You can use it to cast Wish or summon the Kirin to your side for a single round, or for not a single round, but for a
Encounter.
set of actions. Yeah, not an encounter. It's like a round or two, and depending on what happens,
Okay.
the DM gets to decide what he does.
Sure.
Because
Other
this thing
possessions.
is super powerful, and I love them. I love them so much. I just want to hold all of them, but I can't. Uh,
Me sitting here like, here is a 12 chapter essay on my wish.
you have met me.
Yes.
I mean, given how I answered some of the questions from Speak with Dead, should be a good indication of what kind of an asshole I am when it comes to Wish.
So
yeah, as the piece falls out of Lucky's chest and is like, oh shit.
Liz would probably hand Moonin like her prettiest like bottle that's empty, like that's in her pocket, and
Yeah.
hand it to him to like put the tear in the bottle.
It's a cobalt blue glass with a long neck and like a rounded body with multiple facets to it. It's really pretty.
in cobalt blue glass. Got it.
That's like reading porn for Calm. As Calm pours over the Wish contract. You hand it to him. It's in a binder. He just like takes it and disappears. It's like, I'll be back later.
See him like 3 days later. I found 3 loopholes and 2 spelling errors that you need to
And I've gone
amend
through-
before turning this in.
I've gone through 2 packs of smokes. Give me just 1 second, guys.
Yeah. Oh, the best wish. A donut with white frosting and sprinkles.
Donut with.
It's in chat.
No, I mean, yeah, I see it, but I'm just like, that's what your wish is? A donut with white chocolate? I mean,
You know, I've
white frosting
actually
and sprinkles.
seen a post about someone doing that with a wish and the DM turning it on them.
Oh, Dresden. You know, I've never read those. I've heard that they're good, and I need to, but I've never read them. Well, as you all turn into the villa and make yourselves comfortable, that is actually where we're going to wrap for this evening. So thank you all so much for tuning in with us. Thanks for rolling for their hit points in the chat. Thank you, Raven, for the sub and for the gifted sub. Thank you all so much. We appreciate your support and just being here. And if you can, we'd love for your support and donate by purchasing a sub or anything else like that. Let's see. We'll be back next week, of course, with our next one. We have 10, 11, and 12, and then we're done unless somebody dies. And then we have tomorrow night, Scion, episode 3. 2, 3, episode 3. We have Wednesday night is the return of Monster of the Week. And then on Thursday, we have Descent into Avernus. And Saturday, more D&D with Stolen Cities. Tune in all week as we have games and things going on. It has been my absolute pleasure to be your DM this evening. My name is Heath, a.k.a. Captain Stack, a.k.a. Cap. I have been joined by the wonderful Q, who is playing Emrys, the fantastic Otter, who was playing as Moonin, and the very lovely Vixen, who was playing as Liz. Thank you all so much. Remember, get out and support D&D, your local gaming store. Candlekeep Mysteries coming in March. I will have more time for that. I'll get a more direct date for that soon. You can pre-order it now, and the alternate cover looks beautiful. It's red with gold leaf lettering on it, and it looks like a classic, like, titled whodunit book. Also, make sure if you want to, you can join me for Winter Fantasy or the virtual D&D weekend. It's all Adventure League play. Love to have you. Until next week, take care of yourselves. We'll see everybody around. Good night, everyone.